JD here. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, please hit like. And what do I've got here today? I've got a vintage Zenith watch. And this is Zenith. It's probably Zenith. And I've put this into a cleaner, and I've put this, it's been completely cleaned and it's in mint condition. And I'm just going around the rim here. I made a video earlier today about finding the right watch crystal, and I found the right watch crystal. It's amazing. This is a size 31.1. It's exactly what I needed, and I have to fit this into the watch. So I've got GS hypo cement that I'm going to put along the edge of this watch and let it dry for a few minutes. It's in the instructions on how to do that, and this stuff works really well. And I'm going to take this hypo cement and use that as an adhere to adhere the watch crystal to the movement itself, but then I need to get my tool out. So this tool is the GS inserting tool for watches and pocket watches, and here's what it looks like. It's all about tools, right? And I think I'll categorize this video as a tool video as opposed to watch repair. So I've got all these adapters here that I need to use, and I've got to fit the right one for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit one of these on the crystal, and it's going to be slightly smaller than the crystal, like this one here, probably right along the edge. And then I need a pusher, and I want a pusher that's going to push down on this crystal like this, and that'll make the crystal go in ever so slightly. So that's the pusher part. I could probably use a smaller one here to make sure I've got good pushing power on this, but I also don't want to damage the crystal, so I think I might use this one here. So these are the two sizes I'm going to use. So this is one size, it's number 2, and this is it's not a 12, it's a 13. So I'm going to use a 13, and the crystal is just bigger than the edge here, and this little plastic insert protects the crystal from being scratched, etc. So then we have to get the tool out. Here's the tool, and let's close this and get it out of the way. So there is the tool, and we've got the setup for this tool. And the setup is you put this on the bottom here, and it depends on the watch and the size of the watch, because the watch is going to be put on the inside here like that. And once the crystal is pressed down, you're going to be able to fit that watch, I guess, over the crystal, or the crystal gets inserted into the rim of the watch that way, right? So you're compressing that crystal. I'll take the old crystal and I'll give you an example of how that works with the old crystal. So there's the old crystal, and we would put that in like this, like that. And then I would take this rig, and I would take this watch here very carefully and put it over the old crystal like that, and get it close to fitting like this, and make sure that that's close to fitting. And then I'd be able to take this and compress it down like this, and when I compress this down, it makes the size of the crystal a bit smaller. Glue it in and move it this way a bit, and then let go, and that crystal then is shaped and it's put into the watch. It's very easy to do, and to pop the crystal out, you just have to push in the back like that and it pops out. So that's what we're going to do. So first we're going to put the glue around the crystal. So here's the GS hypo cement for gluing the crystal. And when you take that out, push a little bit to the end there, and it's going to want to come out of the tube pretty fast, but you're going to want to glue it with the needle that they have here. And there's a needle right there. And get yourself a little piece of watch paper before you start. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So you want to put this hypo cement all along the edge here, and you don't have to put a lot, but I'm just going to go around the rim. Keep pressure on the edge here, so I know it's actually coming out. And I've got a little bit too much right there, I think. So just go around the edge like that, and that's good there. And you're going to wait a few minutes before this hypo cement gets the right consistency to put it in place. And I'm going to put the needle back in the hole. I'm going to try to put the needle back in the hole. This is not the easiest thing to do. So you put the needle part way in like that, and then get yourself a piece of watch paper. Watchmakers paper, the best paper since sliced bread. So advertising for watchmakers. So I got a bunch of pieces here, probably too many, but I'm always using it. So take that watch paper and then use that to clean up the edge here, clean up where the needle is, because you don't want that to harden. So just grab that on the side, clean that up a bit like that, and the watch paper won't leave any residue like toilet paper or cloth would. So you just do that, clean up that needle there, and once you've got it cleaned up, just push the whole thing back into the hole. Come on, get in there. And sometimes it's stubborn because it dries as you're trying to do that. And I'm going to put pressure on this thing and it's not working, so I'm going to have to pull it back out and fix it later. So I'm leaving this aside because I don't want this to completely dry. So now I'm going to put the crystal back in place. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is grab that crystal and insert it in here. You want to blow that off so there's no residual dust or anything in that crystal, although you can probably do a bit of that later. But just blow that off so there's no major issues here. And you put that in there like that. And then you put the watch over the top like this. And to get it as close as you can get it to being centered, like that. And then you want to compress that crystal and work it in like this. So I'm compressing the crystal right now, and it should find home. There, it just found home, and that should be good there. Yeah, and you can take that out like that, and let me see, have a look at it and make sure it's good all the way around, and it is. And there you go. So now the crystal is in place. It's been glued, so you're gonna have to let that glue dry for a while, but there really is no issue as it's snapped into place nicely. And there's likely an edge on the inside rim that will help with that. So I'm just going to use the watch paper here to clean up the mark here from the pusher. There's a little bit of a mark there from the pusher, and that's just leftover stuff, so that should be easy to wipe off. That pusher mark, I think, is on the inside, and make sure you're wiping the right side. When you're doing this, don't put any pressure on the watch because it'll just take the crystal out again. So just clean it up like that and see if that's gonna, if that went away. Yeah, it did. So now there's no more mark on there, and the watch crystal is now on. It's a brand new crystal, and that's going to look really nice on this watch when the watch is finally put together. So that's how you install a GS crystal with the crystal cement. And like I said, I let it dry a little bit too fast, and now I've got to figure out how to get that thing out without breaking anything. So thanks for watching this little quick demonstration, and I'll put this up so you can see it and use this technique in the future.